Yeah. So we're live now.
The doors of the Love Church are now open. Dear world, you name it, we cover it from the world of singles to the behind the scenes of the greatest movie ever filmed, called Marriage. We dig into everything from dating 101. Why won't they commit? It's complicated. I can't do it if it's the three of us. They're a good person, but I'm not attracted to them in that way. 2, they really didn't disclose who they were before I said I do. How do I do this if they can't keep a job? The bills are paid, but the bedroom is suffering. Did I marry you or did I marry your family because we only can take care of us? Let's open up our marriage. Why do I have to buy into your beard gang illusion? You could have told me you were down low and we could have remained friends and not married. And last but not least, did you marry me or your pastor? Have we gotten your attention yet? If so, tune in to Unique Perspectives Love Talk Radio, Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, if you want to hear more of today's real issues in the world of love. The doors of the Love Church are now open.
Oh, my. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Unique Perspectives Love Talk Radio. I'm your host, Charles Dixon, and I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Adam Ford. How are you, sir?
What's up, fam? How y'all doing today? I'm doing okay, man. I'm doing okay. Yeah, ready for the weekend. I'm ready for the weekend. Let's go.
Yes. Oh, that is great.
Yeah.
And so, listen, there's a lot going on in the world. You know, each week there's just, you know, we have to take a brief moment of silence for the children and the adults in that gun incident over in Georgia. It's always something. Gosh, when will it be enough? Anyway, all right. So, Mr. Ford, we are digging up probably something that has been just like this has been an argument in households for dear life when people have been saying, look, I can have a friend. There's nothing wrong with me having my friend from this day and age, from back then, from over here to now. Why can't I retain my friendship?
Right.
Yeah, and so it's one of those things where it's this very, very, very slippery and tight slope because it's a lot of dynamics. Particularly for me, I would say the sourcing of the friendship is in most cases, that's the key place to check from. Like, where did we develop this friendship? You understand what I'm saying? How did it come about?
Yeah.
You know, and go for it from there.
Yeah.
All right. Before we go down this long rabbit hole, do you want to do us the honors and read?
If I must, my God, you don't pay me enough for this. Anyway, I don't get paid for anything. I don't get paid. So what?
Oh my goodness.
Here you go. All right. Men and women, can we truly be friends, or are we deceiving ourselves? This age-old argument is due for a modern-day reform as the trends and rules of engagement continue to evolve. In some instances, friends have been virtually converted into partners and spouses without the proper labels being attached. We lean on them for a word of advice. We invest in them financially, emotionally, and vice versa. We celebrate milestones with them. In some cases, we even have regularly scheduled brunch and dinner and event engagements with them. Mm-hmm. To add more insult to truth here, the friend is often made privy to vital information that even the true partner doesn't know of. What am I saying? Should the comfort level with a friend trump that of a spousal partner? Should the truth be entrusted to the friend only and the mirage shown to the partner? Mm. Did you also know that more often than not, that best friend of the opposite sex initially had the intent to date your person, found them attractive, or have experienced your partner intimately? A lot of friendships have started as a result of failed relationships where various lines have been crossed. There are so many variables in the world of labeled jargon of he/she's my best friend, with the partner having been intentionally left out of the conversation regarding the origin of this special friendship. So, can we truly be friends, or are we deceiving ourselves by blindly expanding what should be in a relationship between into a cohabitation of two or more?
That's great stuff, sir. Hey,
Mhm.
before we go forward, I want to point out to the listeners. So I don't know if you notice it, but I want the listeners to know that for some reason we normally can see you guys in the app.
Oh, yeah.
Adam and I speak to you from an app. We also can look at Facebook. Like I can see you guys in Facebook, but I can't see you guys in the app like we normally do. You notice where it says you see the I Adam where it's like 0, but
Right.
the people are there. So it's kind of weird, but nonetheless,
Okay.
we're going to make this work. And I'm going to, well, I opened up my Facebook. So
Yeah, I got open so I can see it.
Facebook. So we're going to go around, you know how we do at church. The enemy just don't want the show to go forward. So,
Nothing to do with this. He's over somewhere else.
Busy.
He ain't got nothing to do with it. Come on, man.
No, I'm teasing. Anyway.
So we got to spiritualize this.
Right.
This
We got to spiritualize everything. Everything's spiritualized.
That's
That's it. Right. All right. So let's get into it. So let's first say this. I certainly don't want to say, if we're talking our whole lives and whether we grew up with people, oh, I went to school with this person, we were in church, we were best friends, we did this, our kids was on the same football team, whatever. There's a ton of scenarios, right, that we can say how we met someone that we deemed a close friend of the opposite sex. Now, where it gets tricky, and just giving me my opinion. To me, where it gets tricky is I'm going to conceptualize this like this. A relationship, let's just say we in a boat on the water. We in a ship, right? So we in this boat on the water. This boat just basically has room for you and me to stretch our feet out. That's it, right? Mm-hmm. We got 2 oars. Those of you don't know what oars are, those are the things you row the boat with. I have one, you have one. We spend the most of our time in there. And when it's time for you or me to go to work, what we do is we go and dock the boat, leave, and come back to the boat, right? Okay. Now, the kicker is this. You got to keep in mind what you are taking and what you are bringing back. Okay. Because the contents of that boat can determine how fast it sails, how smooth it sails, or in some cases, if it sinks. This is what I mean. If you come back with some infidelity, the boat may not move at all. Yeah. And the boat may lose its pressure and spiral into a sinkhole, and there you go. Just depends on the relationship. Okay. If you come back with lies and deception, now the boat is starting to sway a bit, right? It's not the same, right? It's a little off. Different types of scenarios of what we can take and bring back together collectively that can affect that ride. I'm only bringing up the boat because if we're talking relationship and it's me and you, we got enough in the boat. Now, nobody said you can't be cordial and friendly to your friend circle or circumference. Okay. But what I am saying, unless it's some magic that doesn't exist, it's hard to function in a boat with my partner and turn around and function in another boat with my friend. So I'm saying that to say, many of us, there is no issue with having a friend, but I think we need to keep friend in the noun sense, N-O-U-N, noun. Okay. Still portrait, that's it. Perspective, you're right there, care about you, much love to you, but I deal with you in perspective. Okay. When we add the ship to the friend, we are now calling for an action. Okay. Now you're saying you got some responsibilities. Are you going to call me to make sure you still showing love to me? Can you meet me for lunch? I want to talk to you about some problems. Can you help me with this? Hey, wait, I'm really sad. I need a shoulder. I'm really upset. Hey, my mortgage is short this month. Do you think you can help me? Whatever the case,
Right.
this relationship, this friendship becomes a mirage of your relationship. And a lot of times, before you can get back to that boat where you and your spouse docked for the day, you have already stopped in the other creek over there in the friendship. And you have already dumped things in that boat that belongs in your relationship boat. So you got to look at it this way. If you're worried about being your emotional needs met, and let's just say this friend is the greatest listener on earth, they just love talking, all these things like that. I always tell people this. If you are really getting satisfied through a friend as opposed to your partner, you really gotta consider what you're doing. Because if you can get all of the good out of that friend, you probably need to consider you and that friend looking at each other and saying, I think we've been fooling ourselves all these years. We may not be bad after all. Because if all you can do is bring back your partner or your spouse, the change in residue, you can keep it.
Okay.
I'm not going to be in the relationship and lose out to the friendship. So we can both all be friends. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense. The whole point of relationship says to me, set aside.
Yeah.
Special, unique.
Right.
It doesn't say common. Friendship is fine and well, but this is what we always got to remember. If somebody is legitimately your friend, they're not going to try and interfere with your relationship. They're not going to say things like, can you just, oh my God, or even a guy, I'm talking as a man, but let's just say men be like, yeah, I need some help. Can you come down to the bar and just have a drink with a brother? I'm going through something. And then when the woman comes down there, you telling all of your business about what happened this morning in the boat ride to the dock. You telling the friend about the relationship. Inappropriate, right? And let me tell you how some of these conversations go. Man, what's wrong with your girl? What is Keisha doing now? She ain't gave me none in 5 whole months. She ain't gave me none. Why y'all act like that? A man got needs. She ain't gave me none. She don't be cooking at home. She don't be paying a brother no attention, nothing. And most of the times, ladies, let me tell you, I'm gonna flip the script in a minute.
Yeah.
Most of the time, that's a complete lie. Right. Okay. It's not always a whole lie, because sometimes there is truth to it. Yeah. But it's not as desolate as it is promoted.
Right.
When you have a friend that is willing to share with you intimate complaints and intimate details, that I don't care how comfortable you are, that is a red flag.
Yeah.
Anybody that's trying to put thoughts and visuals into your brain about their sex life, about what they could be doing, what they're not getting, that is a line item to you. It's a straight, direct line to say, do you think you possibly can step in because I'm having some problems? Wow. And the dangerous part about being in the proximity of a friend when you're in a relationship is because sometimes that friend will use you in the moment.
Okay.
And then something will happen. And then the person will then turn around and say, we messed up. Oh my God. Can we just go back to the way things was? No, we can't. All other underwear. There's no way we can go back. That's it. So the point is, some things you just can't undo. Once you cross that bridge, you have crossed it. And so this is a good topic to talk about today, because a lot of marriages and relationships suffer because of a third party. We're not even talking about deliberate third parties where somebody
Right,
a side piece. These you gotta look at sometimes friends are the most amazing thing to have when they are legitimate, authentic friends.
right,
Anything outside of that is a distraction between you and your partner.
Hmm.
If your friend doesn't know their place and know their role enough to get out the way, hey, get out the way and move over there. It's okay. You know, we're dealing with this right now. I got love for you, but I can't take care of your needs. I gotta take care of my person's needs, right? So don't be selfish. You know I got a person. Don't pull on me when you know I got a person. So you gotta put people in perspective.
Yeah.
I think we let people just roam as they will. And one of the most dangerous things we can do is don't get comfortable in your disrespect. Sometimes the way we entreat our friends versus our partners, it's flat out. We've gotten so comfortable. It's no excuse why some people are single. It's no way you can play in somebody's face with your friend, with your person, and think it's cool. Some people are so numb. They'll say, me, so and so and so and so was all. We was hanging out today. Oh my God, we didn't get into 4 o'clock, but we had a good time. You and who? Me, so and so and so and so. Oh, okay. So let's dial this back. If me, so and so did that exact same thing, would that be cool? Absolutely not.
Right.
But a lot of times we feel like if we give you the truth, that's going to ease the situation. The truth does not make it clean.
Right.
It's your truth, and yes, they are. Thanks for telling me a man or a woman was present, but it doesn't negate the fact that you went and sat at a dinner table with another man. Period. It doesn't matter, or another woman. Period. It doesn't matter about how you think it's safe and okay for you. That's all well and good. But if you're choosing to be in a relationship, you got to make a choice. I'm gonna let it sit right there for a minute. All right.
You can have the rest of the time. You good? 45 minutes. Somebody hot today again.
Yeah.
So I agree with everything that you said. I think for us as people, it is problematic to try to have a friend of the opposite sex if you're already involved in a relationship and you're already married.
Yeah.
It is definitely problematic because I think sometimes, and I was just sitting here thinking, I think sometimes we have a tendency to think that we are, I guess, stronger than what we think we are.
Yeah.
And we're not susceptible to certain things, but you got to be honest with yourself. You're still just a man and you're still just a woman.
Correct.
And you've been made in a certain way that when you do get around the opposite sex, you know what I'm saying? Not that things happen, but it's if you don't. Okay, here's the thing: if you have not established a boundary, and I'm not even talking about boundaries for other people, I'm talking about personal boundaries where you do not allow people to come into a certain space because that certain space is reserved for the one that you're committed to, then you're going to have a problem. Because now everybody has access to you. And I think that's part of the issue, is the fact that we have made ourselves as accessible as we have. And we really haven't taken a moment to check those people who occupy that closer space. Because not every friend can occupy that space, especially when you're of the opposite sex. Because now you're just inviting trouble. Let's be real. You are inviting trouble. It's going to be problematic. And so you need to be able to establish your own personal boundary. No, you can't come into the space. No, you can't come into the space. No, you can't come into the space because this space is reserved for my loved one. This space is reserved for my beloved, and nobody else can come into this space. And you need to be able to establish that. And again, so part of the issue is the fact that we don't know how to really be discerning with people who are around us. We let in everybody, whoever. but we're not selective, we're not discerning enough to really pick and choose the people that we allow to have access to us.
Yeah.
The reality is that a lot of the people, even though we may have altruistic or good intentions, our motives aren't deceptive. We're not trying to do anything wrong.
Yeah.
They themselves may have some other motive, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And then if you really want to get down into it, the reality is they may have started out with good intentions and good motives, but ladies and gentlemen of the court, people, if you are presented a certain situation and circumstance, you got to know that person, you don't know what their intentions are, but you got to know what your intentions are. Yeah. That regardless of whatever situation I find myself in, if I am committed to my person, regardless of my circumstance, I know what I'm going to do. I know what the decisions I'm going to make. I'm not going to allow your proximity to me to determine how I'm going to move.
Yeah.
I'm going to move in a way that is the most loyal and faithful to the person that I'm committed to, regardless of our friendship. Here's the other thing that we really need to talk about, and we don't really talk about. And I had to address this, and it was funny because I even had to address it even in my first marriage. Okay. The fact that if a particular person who is a friend of mine makes my committed person feel uncomfortable or insecure in a way, then as the person who is in the relationship, I have a responsibility to say to that person who is just a friend who I'm not committed to, hey, you know what? I'm going to need you to back off a little bit. I'm going to need you to back up a little bit because the person that I'm with is feeling some kind of way. And I need to make sure that she is secure in our relationship, knowing that she can trust me, knowing that I'm going to be faithful and loyal to her, and that she doesn't have to worry about other people coming in.
Yeah.
Even people who have already been there before she got there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so in order to give the relationship an opportunity to survive and to thrive, I have to push some people away. I have to be like, okay, you know what? You can't. I know we've been friends for however many years, but the one that I'm with now, I need to make sure she's okay. I'm gonna need you to back up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to back up. And I think as men and women who are in committed relationships, we need to make sure that those are the things that we're doing in terms of being responsible in our relationships. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the whole thing in terms of having a friend of an opposite sex is problematic because you face it almost everywhere you go. And I was even talking to you before the show started. I said you got coworkers that you work with on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? And you grow and you have an affinity with them. You like them. You know what I'm saying? They like you. But again, you got to be careful. You got to your discernment's got to be up. And again, it's not that they intend to do something. Mm-hmm. You got to catch it. You got to catch it. It's not that they intend. It's not that they try to. Yeah. But again, you're dealing with the opposite sex. Yeah. Given a particular situation, you got to check it. Okay. I'm gonna go this route, Charles. And I know again it's gonna cause a kerfuffle. I'm gonna go this with it too. Even in church, the holy place, the temple, the sanctuary, the tabernacle, even in church, you have people who are your friends, people who you associate with, your brothers and sisters in the body of Christ.
Yeah.
Human beings. We are human beings.
Yeah.
Catch them on the wrong day. Catch them on a bad day. Catch them when they're in the valley low. Okay, not on the mountaintop, but in the valley low, where they are vulnerable and susceptible. You got to catch it. You got to be discerning about people. Okay, everybody's not, everybody's not looking out for your good.
For sure.
You would like to believe that, but that ain't always the case.
Yeah. I always tell people because here's one of the common things you hear from men and women when their partners or spouses confront them about friendships that make them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Shannon? Have you seen Shannon? Baby, look at you. man. Do you think I will pick this? Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this one thing. An unattractive person can grow on you and show you attractive qualities. And when you see those attractive qualities, you forget about the face or whatever that thing is that you're not attracted to.
Right.
And you make amendable actions to be able to act on it. So the point is, we can't go by that. You can't go by saying, oh, somebody, they're just my friend, they're cool, because given any situation, the most beautiful woman that a man can have, or the most handsome man that a woman can have, if that unattractive person says something, and I'm not just talking about physically, but whatever that unattractive thing compared to their person is, if they say the kind things, if they're sweet, they're there at the time, if they talk to you in a peaceful way that your person doesn't, you will make justifications, even if it's after 2 a.m. You're gonna make justifications to do things. So my point is, we gotta, like you said, we gotta be really, really realistic about why we keep dragging along some of these friendships. This is how I think of friendships with people in relationships and marriages. You ever notice how you see on the beach when they're cleaning up, they driving that four-wheeler, but on both sides, they got the net. And the net is dragging up the trash, shells, whatever they can find. That's how they clean up the beach. That's how some of us are in relationships. We got partners, but we got to have our net out that everywhere we go, oh my God, I met this cool person at the bar. So you got to meet him too. No, I don't. You should meet him. Right. Are we in a relationship or not? Like, or met him or her. Some of these things come down to boundaries. And we got to not be selfish. And you can't have everybody. That's the whole point of choosing a spouse or choosing a committed relationship. You cannot have everything that looks, sounds, and feels good.
Right.
Or you could be single. You can do you. But if you're going to be connected or committed, then you got to be able to put them walls up to say, that's nice, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going to go to my guy or my woman and leave it at that. But you can't, because the person is fine or beautiful, you can't leave the bar and give them your social media information. That's the new slick hookup. I'm not going to give my phone number, but I'm going to give you social media where you can DM me, then get my phone number. Hello. But anyway, so we play all these little games to keep people connected to us that we think are cute. And then we'll say something like, oh, I got a dude that might like you. I'm married, but I know my man Adam would really like you. Or we'll say these things to keep people that we're attracted to in our circumference. That doesn't help anybody. All it does is you're making matters worse for yourself. It's bad enough living and being focused when you got a person. So you can imagine somebody, hey, new friend, what you doing? Hey, where'd you get them shoes from? I saw you. Oh, them was fire. Hey, you gotta tell a girl where you got them from so I can get them to my guy. And what it really is a reverse compliment. Right. To get in your psyche to let you know this new friend you met finds you attractive in an easy way. And it goes vice versa. And the next thing you know, we got these people that we keep calling friends when really they are opportunistic people in waiting. Yeah. No man, I'm only speaking for men. I know women, y'all can shout it out in the comments. Mm-hmm. But let me just make something very clear. Okay. There is a lot of responsibility in relationship, in marriage to his woman. Right? So he should be staying on top of, trying to keep a smile on her face, trying to keep the synergy. No man just has time to talk to you on a daily basis or every couple of days. He doesn't have time to he can't be your emotional sponge and hers.
Right.
He can't be your dinner partner and hers. Right. I can't even justify coming over there and changing your fire extinguisher battery. I can't come can't come to your house and do these things.
Right.
You know I'm married. You know I got a woman. So why put me in that position, friend? So that's why I say we got to stop fooling ourselves and be like, come on, like we play all these games, but we know exactly what we're doing. And the bottom line to this whole thing comes down to friends being birthed out of indecisiveness. People encounter great people that they think are great, and because you're in a relationship or you don't think the person see you the way you see them, so you snatch them up and make them a friend so that they could be in your world, but you're not necessarily committing to anything, but they're around. But I was saying all that to say men don't have time for that. If you have a man that's offering this kind of amazing friendship and he has a woman or wife, that is a man with an agenda. Make no mistake about it. If he got all this time to give to you, then you need to ask him, how is your marriage? Because you over here with me quite a bit. How is your relationship if you over here in this ship?
Yeah.
This is why we got to learn to pick, stop. We gotta treat this more vigilantly, because I know we all are too kind and, oh, that's my friend. Listen, some of this is us as men and women holding women captive, women holding men captive, because we are selfish and we want something from them friendships. Men can call a woman and he can, if he's having a woman problem, he can, it's two birds with one stone. Not only do I think she's fine, but she's going to help listen to a brother's heart and give me some advice.
Yeah.
So it's vice versa. I can get advice from them. I can get emotional support from them. And all that does for a person in a relationship is make them numb. The need becomes numb to the person it needs to be expressed to. Now, when you're home, you're not asking the spouse for no advice. You're not saying nothing because you know you can get on the phone with Jimmy or Carolyn and they're going to help give you all the answers and tell you what you need to hear or want to hear, and you're going to be okay. But we gotta stop this. People, like you said, we are human. It's hard enough in this century, 21st century that we're living in, to even have a halfway decent relationship. But don't nobody want to get to the point to meet someone, have the relationship, and now have the person saying, I'll be right back. Where you going? I told you I had a fun day with so-and-so. Oh, seriously? But we come up with this is the era that we in, where people will try the slick stuff, but it's up to you to say, oh no, you can have not only today, but 364 more.
Right.
Like that. So you got to be honest about it and just be like, look, we're not doing that.
That's
but
right.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that whole splitting your time between two, that's already a trap. That's a straight up trap. And if you're going over to somebody's house to help them do something and they don't have any other friends that they can ask to do that, then don't ask me either. Don't ask me either. I don't want no parts of that. That don't even sound right. That don't even look right. I don't want no parts of that. But real quick, I want to talk about what Kimberly Adiva asked us real quick. But I also want to make reference to something that we need to pay attention to. I think honestly, again, sometimes we kind of play things a little cheap, or we're just not paying attention to them because they are not something that that shows up immediately. And what I'm getting at is that often, a lot of times, friendships are developed over a period of time.
Yeah.
And I think we underestimate the significance of time because we're really not paying attention. Yeah. We're really not. We're just going about our day, going about our business, doing whatever it is that we're doing. Working, going to church, doing this, doing that. We're just going about our day. And the thing of it is, the more you interact with a set of people, you're naturally going to develop an association, a familiarity, an acquaintance, and then a friendship with them. Yeah. That's going to happen naturally because as human beings, we are social creatures.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us desire to be social with other people. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being social. There's nothing wrong with that at all. The problem comes in is that just in a very subtle way, we develop these friendships. And like Charles was talking about earlier, sometimes because we feel, I guess, more of a closeness to the person that this friendship has developed over some time, we feel the safety and security of being able to tell them the stuff that we should be telling our partner.
Yeah, for sure.
And it again, it's attributed to this fact that I feel comfortable and safe enough with you to be able to share this information with you. Now, having said all that, if you have a friendship with the same sex, okay, cool, fine, not a problem. All right. As long as they're not giving you some dumb advice, as long as they're not giving you some stupid counsel, okay, fine. But when it comes to the opposite sex, and you begin to give voice to your complaint, if you will, you begin to give voice to the issue that's at hand. You begin to give voice to the problem that is there, the dilemma that is there. Mm-hmm. And again, you're not doing it to try to get somebody to do something that they should not do. You're doing it because you're trying to find an answer to your problem. And you're figuring that this friend that you've been with for however long you've been with is going to be there to support you. And they probably are. They're going to try to help you and support you. The problem comes in that when your feelings start to develop a little further than what they should.
Yeah. And
again, because we are human beings and we all have feelings. None of us are Vulcans. Some of y'all don't know what I just said, but don't even worry about it. We all have feelings. We all going to express our emotions, and because we do, you're with this person over a period of time, you begin to develop feelings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful of this. And again, it goes back to the whole idea of establishing a boundary, if you will, that you do not allow other people to cross into. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing. If you're sharing your intimate details of your relationship with somebody who you are not intimate with, then you are inviting trouble.
Yeah.
Because as a friend, they want to try to help you fix it.
Yeah.
But that's not really their role.
Yeah.
Friends don't really, some friends will, but that's not really a good friend's counsel. A good friend's counsel, as counsel already said, will redirect you back to your partner.
Yeah.
You two need to have a conversation about what you've had a conversation with me about so that you two can fix it. Because we're not in that type of relationship.
Correct.
We're friends, and that's all that we'll ever be.
Yeah.
That's all that we'll ever be. Okay, that's all I can say. So Kimberly Adiva says she would love to hear both of our perspectives about same-sex friendship impact on relationships, my girls and my boys hanging out. So I think she understands what she's talking about in terms of, boys and your girls.
As opposed to not just opposite sex friends,
right?
Same-sex friend. That's the same. It's the same scenario. It's like, I've seen it done where this is probably where selfishness rears its head the most, because we could have friends that maybe are not married, are not in relationships, right?
Right.
And here's the other side. You're in a relationship, you're married, and what'll happen is sometimes it'll almost feel like that friend or those friends are deliberately pulling on you to go do things socially while they know your partner is isolated. Now, whether your partner is a loner or not has nothing to do with it.
Right.
Your partner. You can do however your partner can do what they want. That's your partner. But we use excuses of, you need to get out the house. Come on, let's go and do this, when really you want someone to do what you want them to do with you. There's something you want to do and you want them to do it with you. So you want an audience of whoever you want to go out and distract things with you. And that's where it gets selfish. And even guys or women do this, where they'll pull on people that they know are in situations where they don't necessarily need to be distracted from, but because they're a little unhappy in the moment or things aren't peachy, they want you to go with them. And then one of the most sobering reminders of this is if anybody has ever went somewhere because of a friend that's either going through a problem or single or deciding to go back outside and they pull you, and the minute you go out there and put your relationship at risk, having all these different changes in behaviors, changes in scenery, now the person got you going over here for a whole weekend over here away from your spouse, and then only for them to either connect with somebody or reconnect with the person they're mad with and then curb you back to now you got a problem to go back to. So that's where that whole selfishness part comes in there, and you got to be able to think for yourself and say, look, I understand, you know, you my guy, you my girl, but yeah, no, I'm sorry, I can help you with this, but I can't do all that. And set your boundaries, you know, and go from that.
Yeah, because all of us have those quote unquote girlfriends or guy friends that honestly don't know what they're talking about. For sure. They don't have a girl because they don't know how to keep a girl. She don't have a guy because she don't know how to keep a guy. But yet they want to give you counsel. They want to give you advice. They want to make recommendations to you that in the end are usually detrimental to the relationship. They have no idea as to what they're talking about. And often what happens, these friends, quote unquote friends, don't have a clue. They honestly it's sad to say, but they're not really friends. They're more like frenemies.
Haters.
They're frenemies. Yeah. They want to sabotage your relationship so that you can go back to being single, so that you can go back to hanging out with them.
Yeah.
You need, and I know a lot of y'all got a lot of frenemies out there. Woo, you got a lot of frenemies. I'm telling you right now, you better unfollow them. You better disconnect from them because they're gonna have you just like them, single, looking crazy.
Listen, let me tell you what I would. This is something I came up with, but this is what if it's me, right? And if I'm in a relationship that I'm concerned enough to ask these questions, because nowadays we in relationships and we just existing. We don't always care to ask questions, right? We just there. But if you're in a healthy relationship that you are hoping to thrive forward, and you know that there are friends on deck, whether either side or not, I think what people should this is a fair. You all keep me honest if you think this is fair or not. Okay, I'm not overthinking it, but I think it's important to know number one, the origin of the friendship. How did it start? What was the basis?
Okay. Yeah.
Was it somebody being interested, and because somebody got shot down, you just kept them as a friend? What's the history? Number two, what's the history of the relationship? Has it been drunken night slip-ups one time or another?
Right.
Have you did something that will compromise our thing? Have you spent the night at the house because you couldn't make it home, but nothing happened? Whatever the dynamic looks like. And then you have to know what are the boundaries that you have in place for this friendship. If you're in a marriage, if you're in a relationship, what are the boundaries? Have you set any? Because I can promise you, most of us, we haven't set nothing. All we know is that's our friend, and if they need me, I'm going to be there. We give more credence. It's a shame. That's why I said in the write-up, we give the friend or the friends the real us. And we give our partners the mirage.
Yeah.
So for those of you all, man, I know we're talking about the mirage refers to the desert. How you see those movies where people walking, they're desperate, and they look over there and it looked like a hotel with a pool, only to go over there and it's a desert, more desert.
Desert, yeah.
People come home and they give their spouse the dry world, and then go to the friend Let's go turn up. Come on, turn up. Like what? So I'm telling you, we got this whole thing twisted around. It's so off kilter the way we deal with each other. I mean, and another thing, some of this stuff you need to know is find out like what's the proximity of this friendship? Like how often are you friending one another? Like me, when I say friend, I don't mean intimate. I'm talking about how often are you engaging? Are you on the phone with the person a lot?
Yeah.
How often do you go out in public or wherever you go? Whose house or whatever are you going? You got to know those things.
Yeah.
And so you got to be able to get that whole proximity and frequency question. Understand those things, because if you don't talk, and if you just become a couple or a marriage that just say, all right, see you later, honey, talk to you when I get back home. Do you know all of the things that can occur from the car to work, to lunch, during the day, back in the car, all the way back home, and then you home? Oh, you could come home. Your man or woman can leave one way and come back a different person simply because you didn't ask no questions. You didn't check in. So people do what they do, and they cover the deficit themselves, and they make up for it and find those needs for those issues in droughts, however they can. And unfortunately, a lot of times those droughts are seeded through conversations, through messages, through DMs, through link ups. Let's get some cocktails. Let's go over here. And all of this stuff, those are the seeds. Those seeds come first before the actions.
Right.
It starts with the seeds, and then, I don't want to do no drink. Want to go back to my place? Okay.
No, okay. Okay. Direct.
And now the person leaving out of there, oh my gosh. Oh, it's on. Why I did that? I don't know why I did this. So this happened. I promise you it happened. So it's like we gotta show up better and just gotta be honest. And some of this comes down to this. Do you want your person having a clone of you, except with more benefits than you? Do you want that for your life?
Wow.
A clone of you, because a lot of times the friend has partner, spouse-like qualities, but they're not afraid to divulge who they are to the friend because there's no threat.
Right.
We're not paying bills. We're not watched by family. Like you said, we don't go to church together. So I can just unleash who I really am to the friend. But the most deceptive thing that we do, we don't realize the real glue of a partner and a spouse comes from vulnerability and transparency. Yeah. If you just give people edges of yourself or surface, that's the kind of love you get in return. Surface love. People reflect back onto you what you give them. So if you don't have any depth, there's not going to be any depth. So you got to just be honest. So if you want all the depth to be with your friend, don't get mad when you wake up in their bed after an argument because you set the table for it. That's just for real. Some of these things we got to just stop being selfish and just say to ourselves, I can have a person that I think is friendly and I knew them for years and we are cool. But you got to keep people in their perspective places. You're in a marriage. You're in a relationship. You don't get to drag these people alongside of your spouse in person. You got to make a choice. If that's your desire, you need to be a single person. And you can have at it. But you can't connect to somebody and expect them to sit at the table while you play in their face. Because let me tell you something. A lot of times, everybody that comes to these cookouts, everybody that goes to these events, your child's birthday, everybody coming through that door is not a pure friend. Some of them are friends that have seen your person the 10 toes the long way. They've seen them laying down and they in there smiling in your face because the friend, your person, has not revealed to you the real origin of their friendship or the real, all of the true stakes that are in that friendship. Yeah. And so those things are important enough that if you divulge them, I guarantee you a partner say, oh no, you let them be where they are. We not doing that. Yeah. You let them go over there, but you're not bringing that person here to sit there and disrespect me. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Yeah, that you're on point with that. I wanna take a left turn in this conversation.
Okay.
It is still in the same vein, but I you know how I like to do whenever I'm talking. I always want to challenge us to do better than what we had before. Yeah. So let me ask this question again. I don't want to see any hands raised. I want to put this in your head, and I want you to think about this because I believe that this is the, how can I put, it's the stopgap measure. It is the solution to the whole friendship situation. So let me ask this question, and I want you to think about it. Just take a moment to think about it. Is your partner your friend? And what I mean by that is, are we just with them because they are our lover and we love them the way that we do? Or are they actually our friend? I ask that question because I really do believe that if you're in relationship with somebody who you obviously love and you've made them exclusive, then you ought to be able to have that conversation with them that you would have had with that friend. But if you aren't friends, if you aren't on the same page, if you don't have an affinity for each other, then understand, I'm making a differentiation between the idea of loving someone and the idea of liking someone. We often get these ideas confused. I can love you, but not necessarily like you. The reason why you have the friends that you have is because you like them, not because you love them.
Wow.
They are your friends because you like them. You have some commonality with them. You understand them. You get them. They get you.
Yeah.
So again, let me ask the question. Is your partner your friend? A lot of us are in relationship with lovers, and they love good. We marry them. But the one that you married, are they your friend? Can you actually tell them the problem that you're having? Can you actually express to them some of the thoughts that are running through your mind? Can you actually talk to them about things that make you vulnerable?
Wow.
See, when you have a friendship with somebody and they are your friend, then they accept you as you are. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And a friend is different than a lover. You love them for what they do to you and how they make you feel.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. But when I'm not feeling my best, when I have a problem, can I talk to you?
Yeah.
Let me even go one better with you. When we have a problem as friends, can I talk to you about the problem that we have? Instead of me going to somebody else outside of our relationship, can I keep it inside the relationship and talk to my friend?
Yeah.
Because my friend understands me. My friend will help me. My friend will give me good counsel and godly advice as to what to do. But if we're not friends, oh man, help me somebody. Some of us are not married to our friends. Some of us just married our lovers, but we don't marry our friends.
That's the truth.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's important that we develop alongside the loving part, that we also develop the friendship part. Not that it will completely eliminate friends outside of the relationship, if you will, but it will help to a large degree mitigate a lot of associations. Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah. So again, my question is your partner your friend? I would hope that they are, because if they're not, then you're in a lot of trouble. And here's the thing. It's not too late to become their friends. It's not too late to develop a friendship with them. You can do it today. As soon as you finish listening to this, you can do it today. How about that?
But you're bringing up a really good point. And the truth of the matter is, in some cases, those friends, that friend of the opposite sex, have been around just as long as the spouse.
True. If not longer. If not longer.
Yes, and this is why they like them so much. They understand this person like a brother or sister. We bond. Yeah. The only difference is the spouse had more of a beneficial picture to marry.
Okay.
So you marry the person that is not like the friend in terms of the bonds that you have and the fun that you have.
Yeah.
But you, my friend, offer more beneficial life.
Right.
So since you do, and since you're not a bad woman or a man, I can see myself doing this, and we can grow to be great and have love goals.
Right.
We find ourselves married to someone that we're very mildly content with. We living with them and we content with them, and they're okay. But I keep this friendship that I so love because they never been any different than I've left them. Only difference was they just worked down at the power plant. They didn't make that much money. I need to have this kind of stuff for my lifestyle. So I really like him, but I just couldn't marry him because he don't make enough. Or her, him or her. That's the bottom line. That's the real truth. People don't want to say that, but a lot of times we choose status over friendship.
Yeah.
And the status, the friend we think is always going to be there anyway. So, but this status is random and rare. So I'm going to go ahead on and pick this status while I found it. And I can just keep my friend and make my spouse feel guilty if they question me about it.
Wow.
Because you know what we do is say, you mean so now I can't have friends? Oh, so you a narcissist. I can't have friends. You control me and lock me into this house with you. I'm leaving. So the point is, we come up with all these excuses to justify our foolishness.
Yeah.
The bottom line is you're selfish. You want your cake and eat it too.
You
want to have the provision and you want to have the preference.
Right.
You gotta wait. That's why they say you to wait on the Lord. You wait until you can get the preference and the provision in one. On tonight, preference and provision does exist in one person. You just have to wait to find them.
Right.
But if you don't wait, you got to split the apple. You get the preference over here, the provision over there. So you in a nice house, but you're miserable, and you run out that house to go to the one-bedroom apartment of the friend that you just love so much.
Right.
And that's what we do. So so dysfunctional, but that's what we do.
It is dysfunctional, and it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, I think one of the things that I wanted to make sure in terms of me pursuing another relationship after my divorce and me getting married again is that I wanted to make sure that the person that I was with, that I actually liked them. And I think we, as people, when it comes to relationship, we play the idea of liking somebody so cheaply. If they're not, like you said, they're not making enough money. They're not they're not living in the right area. They're not driving the right car.
That's it. All
right. But do you like that person? They make money, but do you like them? Can you have fun with them when you ain't got no money? Okay. Can do you enjoy being with them? And you ain't doing anything. And again, we kind of downplay some of the attributes that a person should have that we want to be in a relationship with, because we're looking at all of these other big ticket items, as it were, but we're not looking at the person for who they actually are. We look at their lips, fingertips, and hips, but we're not looking at the person. You know what I'm saying? We just see the surface stuff. And we see the surface of it. And what we end up doing is, y'all don't want to be honest with me, but I'm going to be honest with you. We marry the surface.
That's it.
We marry and get involved with the appearance of the person versus investigating the person themselves, vetting the person themselves to ascertain as to whether or not they would be a good friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think we need to really look at the idea that the person that I'm with, that I actually should like them. So this way, this is where I'm going with this. So this way, if they are my friend, then I'm not looking for another friend who's a female.
Yeah. Wow.
If my husband is my friend, then I'm not looking for another guy to be my friend.
That's it.
I already have that with this one. It's all inclusive, if you will. It's he already possesses the thing that I want and need. She already possesses the thing that I want and need. Yeah. So now there isn't a gap, if you will, within the relationship, because not only is she my lover, but she's also my friend.
That's it.
And I like her. Yeah. I enjoy being around her. I want to be with her on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not looking for friends at work. Not looking for friends at church. Yeah. I'm looking for friends in the grocery store. I got a friend. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have friends. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that your primary friend should be the one that you're in relationship with. Your primary friend should be the one that you are married to.
Oh, yeah. And like you said, man, that's an excellent point. Unfortunately, what we do is you would think that we would lay it all out on the line for the person that we want to spend the rest of our lives with.
Right.
Many of us lay it all out on the line for our friend who we don't really care how they view us. But the person that we are meeting to say, you mean to tell me and you might be an item? I can't show you this side of me. I just want you to see this side.
I got you.
All of this other stuff that you don't know, my friend know, but you don't know all of the real ugly stuff that would probably, that I'm afraid to risk you changing your mind for. What I'll do is pretend with you, be with you, marry you, but then as long as I have the substance of who I really am tucked away in this friend, then I can have the perfect balance of a marriage. I got my friend and I got my spouse.
Wow.
So that's where we have to be honest. Like you said, that's an excellent point. Identify in your spouse and your partner, are we friends?
Yeah.
Do we just like to spend nothing time at all together? Can we be in a room and not be talking, and then somebody not get up and say, we're going to do something because I'm bored? The person that's always saying they bored, they don't like you.
Right.
That's real talk. If you
I'm bored of you.
If you always got to do an event or something, or we got to go somewhere, you don't like still time with me.
Right.
Because that's some of the most beautiful moments come in nothing time. It could be you looking at a silly TV program. You might run get some ice cream. You might take a walk. Simple things. You might just be sitting at home taking a nap all day. But yes, the going out part is a treat and it's icing on the cake. But if it's not happening, you're not going to be like, well, you know what? I did not sign up to be sitting in here with you. Well, look, I didn't sign up to run out there with you. So make a choice. So the point is, you gotta marry people that are on, like we said the other day, marry people on your same frequency.
Yeah.
Stop changing bands and trying to connect frequencies. Frequencies work best when they are well aligned.
Yeah.
That's it. We keep trying to pick people who we don't fit with. The reason that friend is still around because they fit perfectly with them, because friends have showed each other who they really are. Y'all just haven't. Yeah. So that's why the friends exist. Yeah. Because we living in mask. We got layers in mask, and we are pretending with those we supposed to love, but being authentic with those we shouldn't. So dysfunctional.
Yeah. Yes, man. I mean, I can't. I want to reiterate it. I just want this to be the thing that kind of echoes in everybody's mind and heart, and that is the fact that the person that I'm with, that I'm committed to, that I don't want to replace you with some other person.
Yeah.
I don't want a substitute for you. I want you. And I don't want to sit here and have all these extra people in my life, because when you was talking, Charles, I was thinking about the 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
For the one person that you have is 80% of what you want, but then that's that other 20% that you would literally blow up the whole world for just because that person has that 20% that you love. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just a crazy thing. But
you said something very key when you said extra. Think about movies when they say go out there and hire extras.
Right.
You know what the extras' job is? They're not doing anything but filling up space.
That's right.
The movie is about the co-actors, the husband and the wife, the partners. That's what the movie's about. So the extras are insignificant in the movie overall. They're just wallpaper. So we got to get back to knowing where we are in the movie. The extras are just the extra. You don't get to come on. You're not in the main frame speaking, moving, and talking like me and my partner. You're an extra. Get to the back.
You're a background character. You're a background character. You're not the main cast. You're a back. You feel like you said. You fill in the back. That's all you do. But see, here's the problem. We take the extras and try to make them the main cast.
Yeah.
But they're not qualified. They don't have any. If you look at their resume as an extra, they were an extra in the previous movie. They had a spot in a commercial. They had a 10-second appearance in a soap opera that comes on during daytime TV. So they've been on Tubi. They've been on Tubi. They don't have the qualifications to carry an entire movie. They are extra. Leave the extras in the extra area.
That's it. Yeah. But let me just say before we close. I don't want anybody to misunderstand the importance of friendship. It's very important to not only show yourself as friendly, but extend yourself as a friend.
Right.
But if you are in a relationship, trying to move towards covenant marriage, you have to learn how to put those relationships in their proper perspective. Nobody outside of the boat should be getting more than what's in this boat.
That's true.
You shouldn't be taking nothing to another boat. Don't be bringing nothing back from another boat. Right. The stuff that's in this boat are the things we gather, we bring, we get rid of, we discover together is too much. We don't need, this is not enough for this. We do it. But all outside foreign distractions are just that, distractions, and your true friends will respect what you're trying to build. If they're all up in the videos of your marriage, trying to dance, no, I'm just playing. But if they're doing all of that, they're not your real friends.
What?
They are distractions, purposeful distractions. Yeah, but somebody that's your friend, they're gonna respect what you got, and they're not gonna try to cause a distraction or tempt you.
Yeah.
Tempt you. We need to stop tempting people. Some of us know you can't go around your friend which you're all half naked, whether you're a man or a woman.
Come on.
Be honest. Here's the truth. I don't know about men, but I know women. When women have friends, if you hear women say, "Oh, that's just my friend," but I bet you if you go to the event where the friend is, he a nice looking guy.
Oh yeah.
Women just don't listen. I take that back. If he's not a great looking guy, he's a charismatic guy with some money. So they're not going to put themselves in a bum scenario with a friend. Oh. That friend just going to get the phone calls, and I'm praying for you on Sunday. That's that friend going to get that. But the other friend is going to look nice. He's going to have something going for himself. I bet you that same friend can say, "Oh, she done tried to set me up with all of her friends." You know why? Because she thinks he's a good catch.
Right.
That's why we got to be smart about these friends.
Yeah.
Be wise.
Wise.
Ask questions. especially if you're married.
Right.
People don't let people just bring you stories about a friend that's just out here vagrant. No, who is this person? What's the origin?
Right.
What's the history and where the boundary? Remember those questions. What's the origin? What's the history and what are the boundaries of this friendship? That'll either start the argument or end it right there in them questions.
Well, you want to pick a fight? You trying to pick a fight?
Yeah, I'm picking a fight. That's it. I didn't heard enough foolishness about the friend stuff. Look, yeah, I'm not going to say anything. But anyway, yeah.
Come on, let's go. Let's do it. Come on. We're over there in overtime. Let's do it.
Foolishness over the years. But anyway, we appreciate you guys tuning in today to Unique Perspectives Love Talk Radio, where we were talking about men and women. Can we truly be friends, or are we deceiving ourselves? I think we can extend ourselves as being friendly to our friends, but I don't think we can be active friends while we're in relationship and marriage. It's just my opinion. All right. But anyway, now I think I'll go even deeper after the fact.
Here we go. Let's do it.
I'll really tell you what I really think after this. But anyway, all right, see. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Next week, same time, Thursdays, 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we out. Yeah. Yeah, what's up, friend? Hey, y'all still going? I'm gonna go out with y'all too, cause she getting on my nerve. Don't you know I ain't getting nothing. She ain't going. Look, I ain't no food on. Hey, look, you know what? Let me tell you, what's your girlfriend name? Mina? Oh, to the bar too. I'm going out there too. But look, if this keep going on, I already got a good job. I'm gonna give me an apartment. I'm out this joint. Yeah, but anyway, I'll let you. Okay. Oh, we on the show live. Yeah.
Now you finally realize you still on the air. You finally realize you're still on the air.
That's how it's really done. That's the whole way it's done. People, we get on the phone and we have that one or two friends that we tell all the crazy, dirty stuff to, and go out there and they got all our dirty secrets. Right. And then we come home and we are angels to our spouse. Right. Anyway.
No, but let me just say one last thing to the whole your partner should be your friend. We talked about, liking them. I really do think it's important that if you're going to be committed to somebody, that you actually get along with them.
Yeah.
A lot of times we marry people that, first of all, we don't like. We love them, but we don't like them. And we don't get along with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it makes it hard. And so this is where that gap comes in. That the friend ends up filling. Because you don't like the person that you're with. You don't get along with them. And so now you go to the other friend, okay, to talk about the reason why you're not happy in the situation that you're in.
Yeah.
When all along, you should have been looking at this person, trying to figure out whether or not you actually like them and if you get along with them.
Yeah. That's good stuff, sir. Anyway, we appreciate y'all. And like Adam said, what he said. And we'll see you guys next week. Much love and be safe out there. It's a crazy world. Keep your heads on swivel, because these people out here nowadays, we are seeing mental health breakdown on a whole nother level. Yeah, be wise. Don't get into no road rage.
Right, just go home.
Don't blow no horns. People are looking for a reason to spaz
Yeah,
out.
they are.
Just be wise and be safe. All right. I'll let y'all.
Peace.